Good morning, everyone. I'm sure all of you must be feeling better and you must be feeling very great today. And I'm pleased to welcome you all in this great session where you will get to know the new, facts, the facets about your transformation journey. So let me first congratulate all of you on your completion of successful 15 days of transformation. So it has been really great to see you all fully committed with consistency and obviously with your full enthusiasm and complete participation. So I wish all of you a great journey ahead. And as you know, more than 200 groups have been formed nationally. And these groups, just imagine in each groups there are so many individuals seeking their transformation journey and so religiously. So it's a very great motivation for all of us, and we should not forget the quote by Lord Buddha, who said to keep the body in good health is obviously is our duty, but we shall not be able to keep our mind strong and clear unless and until we have a good health. So this is, this quote is for all of us, and we really need to follow this. So great going. And just to have a recap of yesterday's session, we were discussing on obesity, and the great fact that we came across was in every four individual, one is found obese. And, for all the issues, all the health issues that we have for the ill health, obesity is really a very important, one of the most important reasons that we have. So it's a great concern for all of us in our society, and definitely a great motivating factor, to cross this barrier for in the journey of our good health. And without taking much of time, I would like to welcome our knowledge session for today morning, Lakshmi Sridhar. So she is MA in Public Administration and MBA as well. And she's having a work experience of 23 years, out of which 17 years, in the training of Amway, and 6 years she has worked in FMCG companies. And currently, she is our regional training manager in South region at Amway. So help me welcome Lakshmi Sridhar. Lakshmi, over to you, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Manish. Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone, and a very, very warm welcome to each one of you on this amazing journey. And it's so nice, to see you all early in the morning. And it's so nice to get engaged with you, to understand what you do. And I also look at the groups. Since Manish was talking about the groups, so many groups have been formed, and each and every group is so active that you take support from your health buddies, you take support from your nutritionist to find the right food that you are supposed to eat, and you fill the plate with all healthy things. And there's a lot of mindful eating, amazing goal setting has happened, hydration levels are too good, name anything that can lead to good health. We have started practicing all that within this 14-15 days of our journey. So great going, and wish you all a great success. Whatever goal that you have fixed for yourself in your health, I'm sure we would definitely reach there, and we will also support. It's not only stopping with us, also support the others in the family, in the friend circle. Also, sometimes to the strangers who come to us as customers, we would be in a position to guide them properly and take them through that. Find all the best for each one of you who are a part of this program. And it's definitely so heartwarming to see people connecting early in the morning. And if you miss out the session, also watch the recording session, so, and take down notes. And I have seen people completing 40 pages, 50 pages notes by now. So everything is going to support you. Glad that you liked the knowledge session. So again, today I'm here to connect with you on a very interesting topic. Be a carbohydrate detective. Fine. So we all have the detective mind within us. We all are detective for one or the other way. So today we are going to be detective for carbohydrate as a very important macronutrient. So we are going to talk about that and see how far this carbohydrate can support us in our journey and what is the role that it has in our diet. Yeah, fine. So, what comes to your mind, my dear friends, when we think of carbohydrate? I can tell you it's a mixed feeling. It's a mixed feeling when we talk about carbohydrate. The moment we talk about protein, people will think, oh, yeah, it's a very important nutrient. So I should be consuming it on a regular basis. The moment we think of fat, only people who know that there are two types of fat, good and bad, and good is very important on a regular basis, that is when we can appreciate the fact. But somehow, carbohydrate is looked upon as a villain as far as my experience goes. When I talk to people and say that your carbohydrate levels in the body should be so much, immediately the question is, should we take carbohydrate on a regular basis? Do you think we need that as a macronutrient? And everybody knows it's a source of energy. It's very important. And what we think is, maybe if we go on deficit of carbohydrate, it is going to support us for so many things, which is true. I don't deny the fact. But at the same time, this nutrient, macronutrient, should be given its due importance. Fine. Yeah. Now, going a little deeper into this particular nutrient called carbohydrate, but before that, have you ever felt sleepy after indulging in a big plate of high carbohydrate treat? Have you ever felt that? I have felt it. Particularly, afternoons are not easy, particularly after a heavy meal of a South Indian meal for that matter, where um, everything starts with sambar, rasam, and then we have more korumbu, vatta korumbu, and then we have curd rice. There's so many things in a platter, and after all that, a small nap, we call it as power nap, but I don't know whether it stops with 15-20 minutes. At times it even goes to 1 hour, 1.5 hours if it's a holiday, if it's a relaxing day. And I'm sure most of you have experienced the same thing. So actually, is this because of carbohydrate or is it something else that it does? Then if it is because of carbohydrate, then carbohydrate should be a villain. So by now, your mind will be thinking of so many things. Yes, come, let us see what this nutrient can do for us. Fine. Yeah. So when we talk about carbohydrate, we know it's a source of energy. We all have seen that. So how will it give that energy, and till what time this energy can sustain in the body? That's very, very important. So if you see this graph, so the bottom, you see it's all in hours, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, and it goes up to 6 hours and beyond also. And on the left axis, you see the nutrients, the carbohydrate, protein, and fat. Okay. Each one of these nutrients are determined by the color, different colors. Fat has its own light green color, protein with a brown color, and carbohydrate is denoted by the dark green color. So now what does this actually says? So it says, see, when you take fat, it also gets converted to glucose, because everything has, at the end, it has to get converted to glucose and support the body. Fine. All the nutrient has its own role to play there. So that's required for the body. That's a fuel for the body. So when we take fat, it slowly gets digested and it sustains up to 6 hours. That's what this graph shows. Okay, it slowly starts and it goes to the peak by 4 hours. And after 4 hours, it slowly gets down and sustains. Sustains the energy is till 6 hours time. Now, if you take protein, okay, we start and by the time it reaches the peak, it is again 4 hours. But after that, it crashes a little faster than fat. Okay. See, fat slowly crashes, whereas protein, it crashes a little faster. It goes to the peak and from then it slows down. Okay. So you can see that. Look at this carbohydrate. It goes to the peak much faster, very fast. It goes to the peak. So that's why the moment we have food with carbohydrate source, you get instant energy. But at the same time, the energy also comes down much faster than any other macronutrient. So within 4 hours time, you see all the energy dropping down and you feel like having something to get more energy, which is like, can we call it as hidden hunger? Could be the hidden hunger, though the body actually is not hungry. But since the energy is very low, we wanted to compensate that with eating something and getting that energy. So, this is the problem with carbohydrate. And that's why people say you have to be choosy about carbohydrate. And that's why when your nutritionists see a little high on rice, a little extra dosa or idli or whatever is the source of carbohydrate that you take, immediately you get an alert message saying, ma'am, sir, your plate is filled with carbohydrate, cut down. Cut down on your carbohydrate. Nobody says, don't take carbohydrate. We only say, look at the quantity. Choose the right source of carbohydrate because it instantly gives you energy. At the same time, the dropping down of energy is also much faster, which might lead to eating a little more and which might not support you in your health journey, which is your weight loss journey. So that's why we say be a detective for carbohydrate. By now, you would have understood not all carbs are bad. Definitely not. There are some great sources of carbohydrate. And now the question is, are we, choosing the right thing? Do we know actually how to choose the right carbohydrate? And if you are thinking of avoiding carbohydrate, is that the good way to do? Definitely not, my dear friends. You cannot be avoiding carbohydrate fully. Okay. Carbohydrate is the major source of energy. We need that energy on a regular basis. But only thing what we say is think again before you avoid carbohydrate. Think again before you choose the right source of carbohydrate. To know a little more about carbohydrate, we have seen all this, but just as a reiteration here, I would like to bring it to your notice and your thought again. We all know carbohydrates are of two types. Okay, complex carbohydrate and simple carbohydrate. So when we talk about complex carbohydrate, there are again two types of carbohydrate, starch and dietary fiber. Okay, simple carbohydrates are sugars. Fine. All these simple as well as complex carbohydrate, they all are made of simple monomer unit, which is called glucose. The basic is glucose everywhere. Okay. And in simple carbohydrate, it gets digested instantly and it leads to more, want of more energy for our body, which we will end up eating a little more. And this is where it also leads to something called postprandial somnolence. Okay. So what is postprandial? Postprandial is after food. Actually, you can see this graph here, and this graph actually shows that this shows only that postprandial is after food. After food we feel that somnolence, which means it is related to sleepiness. Fine. So when we talk about why do we say avoid simple carbohydrate? Because simple carbohydrate lead to that sleepiness because it instantly gets digested in the body. There's no time taken for it, and immediately it gets converted to glucose, and all the cells will absorb the glucose which they were craving for some time now. So they get their source of energy and they start working on their own, and our body will feel very relaxed and we end up going for a small nap. Fine. So this is simple carbohydrate. And in simple carbohydrate, basically they are sugars. There are of two types, monosaccharides and disaccharides. So remember the first session where we saw the speaker talking about a necklace, where how this necklace is formed. If it is with one single bead, then it is simple carbohydrate or simple fatty acids, whatever. Fine. If it is structured or if it is with too many branches, then it is called complex. So now this is very simple, one bead next to each other. So the necklace is formed and it's easy for the body to absorb also. And then monosaccharides, you have the basic glucose, fructose and galactose. These are some of the examples. Talking about disaccharides, it's sugar, maltose and lactose. These are some of the examples of disaccharides. Fine. So basically all this end up in glucose. See, sucrase is nothing but glucose plus fructose and sucrose, and lactose is nothing but glucose plus galactose. Maltose is nothing but two glucoses. Fine. So this is what is the sugar, basic sugar. And that's why they get quickly absorbed and quickly get converted to energy. They don't stay in the body for long. And after some time, you feel like eating a little more, and that leads to so many other problems in the body. Now, why do we say try to have complex carbohydrate? Avoid simple carbohydrate and try to have complex carbohydrate. We cannot be avoiding carbohydrate fully, though there are many types of diet, which we will talk in one of these sessions in future. Paleo diet, keto diet, though Nutrilite as such doesn't recommend any of these. We believe in holistic health and holistic diet as such, because we believe all the nutrients are important. Fine. But there are people who follow certain methods of diet and try to, avoid carbohydrate in any form. But what we say is try to take complex carbohydrate as much as possible. And there's a good quantity that your plate should have this complex carbohydrate. Now, what is complex carbohydrate? It's made up of dietary starches and dietary fiber. Starch and dietary fiber. Fine. So now, though the monomer unit here is also glucose, but before getting converted to this glucose, the process is quite long. The process is not simple. It's quite long. Okay. So good sources are potatoes and bread for starches. You might have seen potatoes and bread having good source of starch, which stays in the body for quite some time and then digests slowly in the body. And dietary fiber, by now we all are so aware of dietary fiber, and this is the whole idea of having our plates filled with half the plate filled with fruits and vegetables, because they are the good source of not only fiber, also complex carbohydrate. And under dietary fiber, we have two sources, insoluble fiber and soluble fiber. Anything that is easily soluble in water is called soluble fiber, and if it is not soluble, then it is called as insoluble fiber, and both are important, has its own role to play in the body. So to talk about soluble fiber, the good sources are bean, oatmeal and psyllium husk. And to talk about insoluble fiber, good sources are bran flakes and all that. All vegetables which has good amount of fiber in it, and you have to chew that before sending in, and they come out as roughage. The only job is to ensure that it gives bulk to the fecal matter and ensures that your gut is clean. So this is how it is divided. So our goal is to ensure that every plate has good amount of complex carbohydrate and limited simple carbohydrate, and maybe if possible we can even avoid simple carbohydrate, anything in the form of direct sugar, and give the body to work, and get converted to starch, dietary fiber, and then slowly get converted to glucose. So this is our goal for carbohydrate that we are talking about. So by now you would also understand it is not only the quantity of carbohydrate which matters, it is also the quality while choosing carbohydrate. Okay, the quality matters too when you choose carbohydrate. It's not only quantity. So some people might think, okay, when I reduce the quantity, when I take less amount of carbohydrate, maybe it is going to lead to a good health. No, my dear friends, if how much ever small or big the portion size is, the quality matters a lot. So be very choosy. That's why we say be a detective to find out which carbohydrate is good for your body, which is not good. Now, talking about the quantity of carbohydrate, you know, there is a good quantity of carbohydrate that has to go to the body because it's a source of energy, and we need energy. Even a body needs calories, energy, even when we are at rest. There are certain organs which keep working, functioning in the body, and they need that energy. We cannot deny energy for our body. So this is a biggest source. In order to meet the body's high energy demand for glucose, there's something called AMDA. What is AMDA? Acceptable macronutrient distribution range. So this range is, if I have to compare, I would compare it with RDA. Say if you have noticed, we do not have RDA for carbohydrate. There's only composition, there's only the quantity that we talk about. We don't say you're supposed to take this amount of RDA for carbohydrate, whereas you have RDA for protein, you have RDA definitely for multivitamins, multiminerals. If you see, now what is the RDA for carbohydrate? Now how do I measure this is sufficient for my body or not sufficient for my body? So that is why this acceptable macronutrient distribution range has come. So it says for an adult who is taking about 1,400 calories on a regular basis, which is very normal and should be taken, they should ensure that about 45 to 65% of the total calorie should come from the acceptable macronutrient distribution range, and in this case it is carbohydrate. 45 to 65% of the total calories. So which means out of the 1,400 calories that we are talking about, 45 to 65% should come from carbohydrate. Now, here again, we have to be choosy about whether to give it from simple carbohydrate or complex carbohydrate. Having heard so much about complex carbohydrate, I'm sure you're going to choose the right thing. You're going to choose, the right source of carbohydrate and ensure that our plate is 50% filled with complex carbohydrate. It could be in the form of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, with a lot of fiber in it. Do not remove the husk of it, the outer layer of it. It should be with as a whole grain. Okay. So National Institute of Nutrition also recommends that fulfilling the energy demand glucose and carbohydrate range should be 45 to 65% of the total calorie. So as I told you, if you are taking about 1,400 calorie as a standard on a regular basis, so out of which 45 to 65% should come from complex carbohydrate. Fine. Yeah. When we talk about quality of carbohydrate, also I would like to introduce two important concepts. We are aware of it, but again a reiteration. Okay, every food has its own glycemic index and glycemic load. Now, what is glycemic index and which is good out of these two? It is always better. Having so much of awareness, it is better to choose the right one with low glycemic index as well as low glycemic load. Unfortunately, not all food are with low GI as well as low GL. Now, if I have to choose between the two, which one should I choose? There's nothing like that, my dear friends. You should be choosy about both and ensure that you choose the right food. We will definitely see about all that in the forthcoming slides. Now, let's talk a little about GI, glycemic index. It's a ranking system. Okay, and in the ranking we always have white bread as a standard. So we compare our rest of the food with the white bread and see and measure how quickly carbohydrate in the food can raise blood sugar level. Now I'm taking rice, white rice. How quickly as compared to white bread, this white rice can get converted to glucose and raise my or my glucose level will go and reach the peak within a short span of time, how quickly it can reach. So based on that, the glycemic index is decided. Okay, and there are measurements for that. And low GI is between 0 to 55 units, and medium is between 56 to 69, and anything which crosses 70 we call it as high GI. Okay, the rice that we eat, regular white rice that we eat, is said to be about 72 to 74 GI on a regular basis. If we keep eating that, you know how far the sugar reaches, particularly the raw rice that we are talking about. Fine. So this is glycemic index. On the other hand, there is another concept called glycemic load, GL. It's a measure that considers both the quality as well as quantity of carbohydrate in a specific food or meal. Okay, this is actually, it provides a more accurate assessment of the impact of carbohydrate and the blood sugar level than GI. So when it comes to the food, do not only consider GI, also look at the GL. And at the same time, you cannot only be looking at GL and leave GI. Both are important, but GL gives you more accurate information when it comes to the glucose level spiking up in the body. So there is a measurement here again with low GL, glycemic load, it is 1 to 10. Anything that is less than 10 GL is said to be a very good food, can be taken on a regular basis. The medium is between 11 to 19, which moderately increases the glucose level in the body. And anything which crosses 20 is with high GL, which is considered to be avoiding and cannot be taken on a regular basis. Once in a while is fine, but you should be conscious that too much of glucose has gone into the body and how to reduce that. What activity can be done to reduce that? How to spend that energy? So this chart very clearly gives you the food with its GI as well as GL. Both are there. Okay. Now see, white rice, the glycemic index, as I told you, is 73, but the GL is also 17. Now see where this 17 falls. It falls in the moderate, in the medium level. Okay. So it is not only high in GI, it is very high. Looking at GI, we may not even touch this, but GL is also not that great. It is 17. Okay. And I also give you a very interesting example. Now look at this watermelon, my dear friends. Okay. Looking at the GI, we may have to avoid this watermelon as a fruit. Oh my goodness, 72 GI. It is close to white rice. But at the same time, if you see the GL, it is just 4. It is just 4. It is less than the moderate, which is low GL, 1 to 10. So we would definitely choose this fruit to be taken on a regular basis, because the GL is a good indicator and it says, hey, don't worry. Even if the energy level goes up, instantly it comes down and you can still manage. Fine. So this is how you have to choose your food. That is what exactly we mean when we say wear your detective cap. So the moment you look at any fruit, apple, the GI seems to be less, 39. Fine. So where does this 39 fall here? In the medium range? No, in the low GI range. The GI is very low, And look at the GL. Also compare the glycemic load. It is just 6. Oh, wow. This is a great fruit to be taken on a regular basis. We can definitely look at it. The sugar level will not increase in the body. Look at the whole wheat bread and the white bread also, comparison. See, white bread has about 71 and the GL is 10. For whole bread, it is 69 and 9. Fine. For banana, it is 51 and 12. For carrot, if you see, the glycemic index is 47, but the load is just 3. And that's why our salad plate will always go with carrot. It's a great source of, energy. It also has dietary fiber in it. And of course, it satisfies the complex carbohydrate. So this is how we start looking at every food and decide what is the GI and what is the GL. Now that you know the GI is also high, GL is also high. How do I manage that? Okay, look for food swaps. Rather than having a fruit juice, you can have vegetable juice, because at times when we mix 3 4 vegetables, the GI and the GL of each fruit may not be the same. One could be less and the other one could increase the GL and the GI of the particular food. So it's always, we always go for this mixed fruit, right? Mixed fruit juice. So please ensure that all the fruit are of same GI or same GL or in the same range at least. If that is not possible, the best option is vegetable juice. When we talk about white bread, rather than having white bread, the good swap in the food is whole wheat bread, because it has good amount of dietary fiber. Vada pav, idli sambar. White rice can be swapped with brown rice. Ice cream. Now, how far idli sambar is better than vada pav? Okay, so the vada in between is a fried one, whereas in idli sambar you can have the choice of having many vegetables and try to compensate that. So that's how we, give you a comparison as such. And white rice can definitely be changed to brown rice. And very happy to see many plates, when you post your plates, we could see most of you have shifted to brown rice. White rice is a very rare scenario, and even if we have white rice, it's basically our BFAC rice that we have given from Amway, which is with low GI. Ice cream, yogurt, and soft drink can be easily swapped with lime water, and fruit juice can be swapped with whole fruit, because it has good amount of fiber also going in. It's not only, and with the fruit juice we tend to add little sugar, extra sugar, and also ice if required, to give that chill effect. Whereas when we eat as a whole fruit, it goes along with the dietary fiber, so it's always a better choice. And fried chicken or fish can easily be swapped with grilled, boiled, roasted fish and chicken. So this is how you have to be choosy about your food. So there's no much of compromise as such. What big compromise, my dear friends? Rather than taking it in the juice form, putting a straw and just galloping the whole thing, we're going to eat as a fruit, and it's going to be even more filling for quite some time, and it has dietary fiber also in it. Right? So that's how we say, be choosy, be detective about what you take as carbohydrates. Now, of all the sources, the moment we say white rice has to be compromised, and it has to be shifted to brown rice, most of you would think, oh my goodness, I've been eating this for quite a long time. It's become a habit now. How do I shift? How do I change? Is there any other alternative? And Amway is always listening. You know us, fine. So even before we start this program, we have given you something in hand which can be very well be swapped or replaced for the white rice that you have been eating. It is BFAC low GI white rice. Our regular white rice that we eat is with 72 or 73 GI, depending on the quality that it is from. Whereas here it has very low GI, which is just 52. And you know where this 52 stands. In terms of GI, 52 is just low, not even medium. It is low. Fine. So it is very low GI, and you can consume it on a regular basis. And as such, we know we have reduced the portion of the quantity of carbohydrates that we eat. And all the plates, I could see half is filled with vegetables and fruits, and only a katori of rice I could see in many plates. So, and that rice can also be a very good rice which we have given with low GI, and this can support you in your journey very extensively, and you can also recommend this to your customers. And good thing is, I could see some people even using this for your idli dosa, you know, particularly dosa. I have seen BFAC rice dosa as a very common thing in many plates. Continue doing that, and your choice is right there, absolutely right there. Fine. So this GI low BFAC, what is the advantage of this, my dear friends? It is the advantage of having the taste, the same taste that we have been having for quite long now, because it is mixed breed of Sona Masuri as well as the Japanese rice. The Japanese rice, good quality, is low GI, so we have taken that. And Sona Masuri is for the thing, for the taste. So we are not compromising on the taste as well as quality. So find your inner detective, and remember, not all carbs are villain. Definitely not all carbs are villain. We need carbs on a regular basis, but you have to be choosy of choosing the complex carbohydrate and not the simple carbohydrate. I'm sure you will do it even more efficiently from today on. A lot of information that you have received today, and I'm sure every time you look at any carbohydrate, instantly you think whether it is a simple carbohydrate and complex carbohydrate. If it is simple, you're going to avoid that and swap it with complex. Make it as complex as possible so that our body takes good amount of time to digest and give you the same glucose and energy which is required for the body. Fine. Now for the activity of the day, list out all the food item you have today with low GI and low GL value. Okay. Identify the GI and the GL value of that particular. If you take dal, what is the GI and what is the GL? And if required, swap it with the other food only if required. I'm sure you are very conscious about taking the right food, and continue with that. If you feel GI and GL is not right, then try to swap that so that the detective in you starts working from today on. So this is the activity of the day, and thank you so much for being such great, lovely listeners, and see you all with yet another topic very soon, and have a great day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Lakshmi. Thank you for such an insightful session that we have had today. And carbohydrate selection and the selection, especially of carbohydrate, usually we skip doing that, but it's very important that we select the right carbohydrate as you narrated. I mean, the complex carbohydrate and simple carbohydrate. So the selection really matters because when we are putting in lot of energy in selecting our diet and continuing and following the exercise regimen that we have on a daily basis, but one mistake in selecting carbohydrate may lead us to have more struggle in our transformation journey ahead. So it was really very important, and especially identifying between the glycemic index and glycemic load, that was very important for all of us, and we all must have been benefited by this insight that we have had today. And all of us here who all are connected have really had a successful 15 days completion of their transformation journey, and they have all have had completed their 10 days gut reset program. So as we all know, our body is completely wired, and the gut is such a junction from where all the wires originate. So it becomes very important for all of us to follow the right regimen throughout. So as we all know that following everything, diet consistency and the selecting of carbohydrate, but without exercise we all know that the regimen is not fully completed. So we need to follow that regimen very religiously. And when we have such a great fitness coach with us, who really guiding us every day with really exciting exercise sessions, and as a group when we're doing it together, it really gets more exciting and more accomplishing. So help me welcome Meenal Pathak for our exercise session for today. Meenal, over
Thank
to
you,
you,
Manish.
please.
Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome. Let's get started. And today we'll start with the moves on the mat. So you can all come over to your mat and let's get started with some warm up. We'll start with the butterfly. I want you to squeeze your feet together and lengthen your spine and start moving side to side. Very basic, and like I always say, whenever you find some time during the day, you are at ease and not hard food, like, absolutely very close to this. Do simple stretches and try doing them sitting on the mat. Yeah, they will really help you with your blood circulation, lymphatic flow, energy flow in your body, and definitely pushing it through the knees. Create your mind and a muscle connection through your inner thighs. Keep breathing out. Spine nice and tall. Few more times. And let it go. We're going to sit in a Sukhasana. Simple twisting we'll do. Make sure you firstly go parallel to the side. And once you feel comfortable, then you will slid back. Then you will start rolling over the shoulders. So nice deep inhale. As you exhale, switch to the side. Lift your chest open to the side. Inhale, center. Exhale to the side. Switch. Twisting right from the center. Inhale. And then as you exhale, twist. Again, inhale, center. And then as you exhale, you're going to twist to the side. Now, twist and look over to the back. Make sure if this makes you a little uncomfortable, try to stay within your comfortable range. So as you exhale, you're going to stretch. Look over the back. Holding stretch. Center, side, and look over the shoulder. Center, side, and look over the shoulder. Holding stretch. Right from your lower lumbar spine. But in a controlled place. Again, center, and as you breathe out, stretch. Back to the center. You'll open up your legs nice and wide. Make sure that when you are lengthening your legs, your spine should not round up. And if you realize that sitting on the mat and opening up your legs makes you round the spine, give yourself a height. Okay? Sit on a height and then lengthen your legs up. So what will happen? You will have a solid base to keep your spine nice and tall. Great. I want you to start with simple stretches from the center. So just from the center. Exhale to the side. Exhale to the side. You'll automatically inhale when you are at the center. Full deep stretch. Feel the stretch right from your inner thighs to your calves and your toes also pointed. Stretch to both the sides. So as you exhale, you're going to go low. Inhale, center. Exhale. Inhale, center. Exhale. Inhale, center. You all must be feeling a light flow and a breather after 2 days of having movement. So, we'll keep doing these sessions in this format, high intensity, low intensity. So your body will have full time to recover and ease. Okay, so do not decide to skip up a day just thinking, oh, yesterday was very heavy, I'll take a break. We'll make sure that everything is designed to give your body full relax and recovery periods in between. So please continue every day without taking any break. We'll give you breaks. Take a stretch as you lengthen up. Full deep stretch. Make sure you're not falling forward. Back to the center and then again stretch. Back to the center. I'm not pushing my knees out, but there is a comfort around my knees. There's this natural curve which is there. Let it be. Don't push your knees down. But yes, engage with your muscles. And this time, let's hold on to the toes or a heel, wherever you can get it, and then stretch. Inhale. And when you exhale and go over to hold, make sure that exhale is again right from the navel, right from the navel, right from the navel, and again back, right from the navel as you exhale. Keep your body alignment nice and taut, even if you are not able to. So if you can hold over, yes, exhale, and then center. Exhale. Full deep stretch is what I want. Full deep stretch is what I want. Whether you are able to hold or not, it's perfectly fine. You can just keep rolling from both the sides. Toes, heels, whichever way you can. To both the sides. Again. And again. Let's hold and stretch. Let's hold and stretch. Two more times. Exhale. And if you realize you are not able to exhale so side to side, start exhaling from your mouth like. It's a deeper exhale, but from the belly. Inhale happens automatically. You're going to feel this stretch right here in your lower lumbar spine. So try to engage all the muscle groups right here. Create that mind and a muscle connection so that there is a better move when you are moving. Release. Come down to the mat. We'll start with a movement which we call leg raises. It's a very simple movement, but very effective movement. We'll use one prop weight, not a weight, anything which is little squishy, just like a cushion, or it can be any toy, like a ball or something. I want you to hold something in your legs. It can be anything which can be squeezed just to engage your muscles. Okay, so to begin with, you will come down to the mat. Let's start with a move of glute bridges up and down. So I want you to tuck your core in, lengthen that spine. Your hands can be sides, your hand can be forward or up. Lengthen, squeeze, breathe out every time you rise up. And again, slow belly exhales. Inhale. And then as you exhale, you're going to tuck your belly button in and then curve it up. Again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Core tight. Lengthen that spine. Squeeze. And we will just go and rise. Okay, let's do it slowly. Core tight. Squeeze. We're going to just rise up and come down. We'll add movement one by one. And whichever level you feel is difficult right now, go back to the level which was before that. Here, squeeze and lift. So 1, 2, 3. Lengthen that spine. Hold. After you come here, hold and squeeze. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Squeeze up. 17, 18, 19, and 20. Relax up. Down to the mat. Simple hip switches. Lengthen that spine. Side to side. Switch to side. Again, switch to the side. Tap the core in. Keep switching. and back to the center. This time, I'll teach you the move which I want you to do is tucking the core in, same way. Your spine is completely onto the mat. One support which we can have is the support from the palms. You're going to cross your both the palms right here under your tailbone. Okay, you're going to start with squeezing your legs together, toes pointed. You're going to go low and then up. See how far you can go low. The idea is when you're going low, you will be squeezing. This way of exhaling will help you, like get that belly into action. Here we go. Let's just do it without squeezing anything as of now. And then slowly we'll start adding. So I want you to take control of the lower abdominal muscles as you move through the legs. So something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when your legs are going down, this entire muscle group is getting a stretch. But if you bend your knee, you will realize that this muscle is relaxed. So that's why try to keep your legs straight. But if someone has a problem in a lower lumbar spine and you cannot stretch it out completely, then you can bend your knee. Otherwise, keep your legs nice and tall. Feel the stretch here, primarily the lower abdominal muscles below the navel. They will have to feel the pressure. Here we go. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, breathe out. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax up again. If you feel there is some stretch to your spine, go into hip switches and lengthen the spine. Both the sides. This time you're going to squeeze a cushion in. And you will have to squeeze a cushion not like this. Sideways, where you actually have to squeeze. Your muscles have to be engaged when you squeeze it. So you're going to hold it between your feet together and squeeze. Okay? Again, palms supported out. Hold and stretch. So here you go. 1, 2. Yes. Now you will feel as if there is power in your legs also. Like it's working out your legs as well. Because you are squeezing something between your legs. Let's do 20 of these and I'll also show you. You have something like a ball, then how you will do it. So you're going to squeeze everything right here between your feet. Okay, not here between your knees. And then squeeze up and low. The idea is if you are not able to squeeze up and low, with the muscles engaged, your prop will fall. That's why I said no weights to begin with. Let the simple props fall. So 1, yes. 2, breathe out. 3, squeeze in. 4, 5, 6, breathe out. 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 more. Very good. Keep breathing out. 1, 2, breathe out. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. This way you start feeling the pressure on your glutes and your quads also. Simple exercises on the mat. Your spine is absolutely rested, but very effective. Now let's add the second. In the leg raises, we are going up and down. How about shifting side to side? Yes, so what will happen is, along with the core, we'll also have our obliques to the sides engaged. So what we'll do is, let's first do a simple variation. Here you will not need your palms to support your lower lumbar spine because we are not moving up and down. You can have your palms to the side, or you can just keep them nicely, stretched out, whichever feels more comfortable. Lengthen, tap the core in again, lift up. So this is a move in which you go stretch to the side, come back to the balance center, and then again stretch to the side. When you are going and doing the stretching, you're not keeping your legs down. They are all the way up. And a full twist, core engage. Again, back to the center, and then stretch. Back to the center, and then stretch. Let's do today with the knee bend. Otherwise, it gets a little pressure to your lower lumbar spine. So firstly, do this move with the knee bend today. See if it is okay. Then the next time when we'll do it with the straight legs. But today also, if somebody is okay with moving side to side with the straight legs, you can go ahead and do it. But with little caution, because it's actually pulling, lengthening, and strengthening your spine, all three at the same time. So I don't want this to be a very fast movement. It has to be slow, connected, and concentrated. Okay, we're gonna squeeze. Let's squeeze it in the second set. Let's start like that. Tucking the core in, lengthening the spine. Your feet will be 90-degree like this. You will not have your limbs falling down or your knees falling in. Stretch. Yes, and then you go side, center, and then again side. So center, and then again side. Center, and again side. So side and side counts as one. You will tuck your core in, lengthen the spine. So again, 3, back to the center, and 3. Back to the center, and 4. Back to the center, and 4. Back to the center, and 5. Back to the center, and 5. Yes, those who can, then do it with a straight leg. Center, side, 6. Back to the center, and side, 6. Back to the center, and side, 7. And back to the center, side, 7. Lengthen that spine. Tuck that navel in. You're not leaving your legs on the mat. They're raised all the time. There is power in your legs all the time. And 7. Back to the center. 8. Back to the center. And 8. Lengthen. Up. 9. Toes pointed. Pull your toes out. And 9. 9. And 9. 10. And 10. 10. And 10. 11. 11. 11. 11. Last 9. I will breathe out after this. Just make sure you're squeezing it nice. I know by now core is burning, glutes are burning. Let it be. Last 9 and center. 9 and center. 10 and center. 10 and center. 11 center. 11 center. 12 center. 12 center. Last few, 13, full deep stretch, center. 13, center, breathe out. 14, 14, 15, center, center. 16. Center. 16. Center. 17. Center. 17. Center. 18. Center. 18. Center. Last two. 19. Center. 19. Center. Last one. 20. Center. 20. Center. Oh my God. That's a workout. Let's cool down. I'll just share the music. Let's stretch it out. Nice. On the mat, we'll start with single leg power move. both the palms together over to your eyes. Thank you so much everyone for joining in. Just stay consistent, keep challenging yourself a little, but also stay in your comfortable place. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care and have a great day.
Thank you, Minal, for such a great session. And as we all know that after exercise is very important for the cooling down, exercises, because that gives you your body the full recovery so that you don't skip your exercise tomorrow morning again, right? So as we all know that in a healthy body resides a healthy mind. So let us keep that focus on it, on achieving that. And thanks for assembling all of you for such a great session today. And let's get charger for the tomorrow session, tomorrow morning. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Have a great day.